Hello, everyone. This is Sean Daeley with dailyvo.com. I am here with voice actress and coordinator for the upcoming Mid-Atlantic Voiceover Conference, Val Kelly. How are you doing today, Val?
I'm good, Sean. How are you?
I'm great. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with doing voiceover and voice acting work?
Okay, well, when I was a little kid, and basically my whole life, everyone always commented on how unique my voice was. And when I was a little kid, I really didn't know what to do with that. I was like, okay, thanks, And so as I got older and I went to college, I had the chance to do some acting in my at the college level. And so I ended up booking some roles in plays for my voice. And so that's kind of how I got started. And then later on after college, I got enrolled in this course for voiceover, which I really didn't know what that was at the time. And then it was one of those kind of things where they would call you and say, we think you have talent or we don't, kind of, seminars. And I was working at a hotel at the time because I didn't know really what I wanted to do with my life, even though I had been to college for teaching and everything like that. And so the guy, his name is Dan Levine from Such a Voice. He called me and he was like, what are you doing with your life? You need to be doing voiceover. And I was like, okay, what do I do? So I took a class with Such a Voice, and that was my first kind of training. And then I didn't know what to do with my demos after. So they just sat on a shelf for years and years. And then in 2011, I found out about Edge Studio, and then I started training with them, and I met David Goldberg, and I kind of went from there. And so that's how I kind of got my foot in the door a little bit.
Great. And what areas of voiceover do you specialize in?
I specialize in animation and talking toys and children's iPhone apps and basically anything that's really kid-oriented, because my voice is obviously very high-pitched, so I tend to do better character work.
But that's wonderful. I know a lot of people are interested in getting involved with that kind of work. So as we mentioned before, you are sort of single-handedly coordinating the upcoming Mid-Atlantic Voiceover Conference. And we've been talking in person, and I've looked at the website itself, and I noticed that the motto is "Get Inspired." So I'm curious what the inspiration was for the conference itself.
Well, I live in Virginia, and it's not a major market especially for the type of voiceover work that I do. So with animation and talking toys and things like that, I really was trying to sort of rack my brain, like, how can I get the training and the opportunities to work with some really great people in the industry without having to necessarily be in LA right now. Because moving wasn't a real option for me at the moment when I started it. And so I had been to VoiceOver Atlanta at least once or twice when I had the idea. Someone said to me, maybe you should do your own conference. And I was like, that's crazy. I could never, like, I don't have, VoiceOver Atlanta is amazing and huge and great. And I knew that I couldn't handle something like that. So my initial idea was to start a meetup group. And then it was kind of like a go big or go home kind of a thing for me. It was, but also keep it small. So my idea was to offer really unique opportunities for voice actors in the Mid-Atlantic region, where I bring in these fantastic guest speakers to offer these opportunities for really hands-on training without having to go really far away. And so the main idea behind it was just to have these opportunities and learning and networking opportunities so that it's really small and the sessions are really small in size, and so that people feel like they walk away from the weekend with, a really hands-on experience. That's like the main thing. And so Get Inspired, the theme from it was just, I'm all about getting inspired by people. And there's been so many people that have inspired me in my life. And I knew that bringing in these special people to help actors in this region would help them to get inspired. And that's how I want people to feel when they leave that weekend.
And one of the sort of the motto, I mean, a lot of guests on your website referred to this as the biggest small voiceover conference in the country. And I think that speaks of it so well. I love that idea. Like you said yourself, it is much more hands-on, but some of the guests are very big names in the industry. We have casting directors, we have successful voice actors, we have technology specialists. So moving on from there, can you tell us about who's coming, and is there anyone that you're particularly excited about?
I mean, the lineup this year is so amazing. I can hardly believe that I actually got them all to come. That sounds terrible, but like, it's, I'm really, really, because it's me that organizes it, and I have help. My friend Grant Kenny helps. He's like the associate producer. So he kind of helps with ideas and things like that. And he's really great. But when it comes down to choosing the guest speakers, I mean, I get input from people, but that decision is really mine because it's my company. So I'm so excited about Sarah Sherman from Disney Channel. She's the executive casting director of Disney Television Animation. And basically what that means is that she hires all of the voice talent for all the Disney animated shows, that I want to be on and that everyone else, that a lot of other people want to be on. Now, it's not to say that she's going to come in and hire people, but it just having a connection with her and having met her and having had the chance to train with her and be directed by her and things like that, just even for practice, is so valuable. So I'm really excited about her. And then she's doing a breakout session, and the breakout sessions are really small, like maximum of 12 people for most of them. And hers is going to be a 2-part session where she does, the first part will be the people in her class will do a cold read and she'll give direction. And then they have a chance to practice it overnight. And then the next day when they come back, they have to see, could they take her direction and could they add what she was asking for to it. So I think that's going to be, I mean, that's like, for me, that's like a dream come true, like being directed by someone like Sarah. I mean, she's so sweet and down to earth, and she really knows her stuff, and she's been doing this for a long time. And yeah, I'm really excited about her. And then someone else really unique that we have coming is Kara Edwards. And she lives in Dallas, and she works a lot at Funimation. So she's kind of bringing like the anime side to it, which is really unique because at most voiceover conferences, you don't have someone who kind of specializes in anime. So she's going to offer, her sessions will be, talking about the anime industry sort of and how voiceover plays into that. ADR and dubbing, and she's going to give in her breakout session like a little taste of that ADR and dubbing technique so people can see, how does that work and how is it different from just basically straight up voiceover, And so I'm excited about that. And then we have Herb Moore, who's coming back this year, and he's an animator at Disney. And so he's kind of coming at it from the other side of the table as the artist's perspective. And so for someone, for people that are really into animation, it's great to see both sides of it. It's always usually, well, what voice am I going to use for this character? But he offers the perspective of, here's how I created the character, and now here's, some advice for how you can create a voice for it and how you can take that direction and everything. So those are, in the animation kind of specialty category, sort of, even though anime is not quite, the same thing as animation. I think those 3 are really people that I'm super excited about.
Well, I am too. I mean, and because I met Sarah before at VO Atlanta, and she was just a fount of information. And it must, like you were saying before, I love that how this sort of started as, like, not in a selfish way, but sort of bringing the work to you, bringing the opportunities to you, but then sort of spreading the wealth and bringing these opportunities to your fellow voice actors wherever they are in the country.
Right.
I think that's absolutely wonderful. And I love both the unique selling points of having an anime actress, because I feel that's completely underrepresented at most of these conferences,
right,
and an animator. This is the first time that I've heard of any animators actually coming to this kind of conference and offering that perspective, because we rarely think of it as, I mean, as actors, as voice actors, we're usually at the very end of the production cycle. And depending on how aware you are, because I mean, the more aware you are of each step of the process, the better actor you are, because you just have that much better understanding of your character and what is taken to create it.
Right.
So that's fantastic. And I understand, like, I'm a bit of a gearhead, and I was very excited that you have none other than Chris Courier from Sennheiser-Neumann coming and showing their wares at the conference. How did that happen?
Well, I actually don't know if Chris is coming in person, but Sennheiser-Neumann is our technology sponsor this year. And so that was a really, that was a kind of an amazing, one of those epic moments in email when you get the message from someone and you're like, I can't believe this is happening. This year, this is our third year for the conference. And so this year, Chris reached out to me in an email and said, listen, we would love to be a part of this event as your technology sponsor. And we know that you've been working really hard to raise, to raise money for it, but also to kind of put it on the map and bring in all these great people. And we've taken notice is basically what they said. And I was like, oh my gosh, of course I want you guys to be a part of it. Sennheiser is amazing. And, their microphones and just everything that they have is so high end and really top notch kind of equipment. And so they're going to be providing all of the microphones and kind of any audio equipment that we need for it. So
wow, that's wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. It's really, really exciting.
Awesome. And what's the best way to find out more about you and about the conference and how to register?
So the website for the conference is midatlanticvo.com. And they can go there and find out the schedule for the weekend and about all the guest speakers and the general sessions. And then it also has a link to our Eventbrite page, which is where you register. So they can do that. And then my website is valkellyvoiceover.com. So if they wanted to check out more information about me as a voice actor, they can go there and check it out.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for doing this with me, Val. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great. Thanks so much, Sean.
All right, I'm Sean Daeley with dailyvo.com. We just talked with the amazing and talented Val Kelly about the Mid-Atlantic Voiceover Conference. If you're interested, like we said before, check out those websites that she just listed, the midatlanticvo.com. And have a great day, everyone. Thank you very much.